how did you start off into the music industry? Was it something that you were always interested in, or you just adopted it along the way?
I always wanted to do it, but I've been shy most of my life, so I wasn't, open to putting myself out there until 2022 when I first started singing calypso and soca.
Nice. So calypso and soca around 2022. Who was the artist that you were listening to at the time?
All of them.
You had to have a favorite. Just give me two favorites.
From St. Lucia?
Yeah.
I'd probably say Teddyson John and probably Arthur.
I had to ring the bell on that one. Big up Collision, big up Arthur, and of course big up Teddyson John. But how has your journey been so far in terms of you writing your music? Where do you usually get your inspiration from on days like where you have a typical writer's block that some people do face?
Inspiration can stem from anywhere, Sometimes I wake up and something just pops into my head if I hear a word, a rhythm, a beat, anything. So,
okay, nice. So what's the process like in terms of when you come to writing your music? Do you usually have to sit down, or like you said, like when the inspiration comes, do you make notes of it and then you put everything together, or is it on the spot?
All three, actually.
What?
So sometimes I would be doing maybe an assignment or going about my daily life and something pops into my head. I'm like, oh, this would make a good concept for a song.
Okay.
And like I probably make a note of it until later. Sometimes it doesn't go away, so I actually have to force myself to sit to write it until the project is complete.
Wow. So, and you doing all of that while managing your studies at university.
Right.
Are there times like you probably be studying and then sometimes the musical aspect tends to take over?
All the time. All the time.
I can imagine. So what would you say is like, what's your plan, what's your future goals in terms of your musical career?
Right now I'm just taking it as it comes. I want to see where I could go, how much I could grow, because right now my focus is to get myself out of my shell a little more, because I'm still kind of shy and timid when it comes to putting myself out there. So right now my goal is to be a little more open.
Okay, I get you. That typically happens, especially with some seasoned artists as well. They say that sometimes they still get a bit of some stage fright when they tend to see the audience or a specific crowd, depends on who's in the audience at the time. So that these things do happen, and I'm sure with time you'll get over these things. Okay. So tell us about your song. What's the name of this one?
Welcome Home.
Welcome Home. Tell us who produced it, who helped you along with the process in making it.
Okay, well, I wrote the song.
Okay, nice.
Frano, Ignite Records produced the song. KB mixed and mastered the song. What was your question?
Who else is in collaboration in helping making it in terms of the beats, recording, and all of that?
Yeah, that's Christopher Morris from Trinidad was the one who recorded it for me.
Okay.
But yeah.
Nice. Do you see yourself probably collaborating with some of our St. Lucian artists as well?
Yes, but I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
You're not ready for that? Why not? What you missing?
I think I need some more personal growth before I could even think about doing that.
How so though? TMI. It happens. All right. Well, before we get any sidetracked, anything along the way, I would just like you to go ahead and introduce the song just before we play for our listening audience.
Okay, so Real FM. This is my contribution for St. Lucia Carnival 2025 called Welcome Home. Please listen. Please enjoy.
All right.
Welcome home. Carnival was a time to remember. This year is the same energy, but we doing it better. The dates on my calendar, highlight from since November. The WhatsApp room my vacation for July since December. I saw the sunrise, and I was in a front. I will be sun bye-bye, and I still in a front. The only time I inside is when I inside of a fit vehicle. Back up outside, like this where we living there. We not going home, no. Tell me play the can, no. Welcome home. We are welcome home. Last carnival was a time to remember. This year is the same energy, but we doing it better. The dates on my calendar, highlight from since November. The WhatsApp room my vacation for July since December. I saw the sunrise, and I was in a front. I wave the sun bye bye, and I still off it. The only time I inside is when I inside of a fit vehicle. Pack up outside like it's where we live in there. We not going home. No, tell me play the congo. I think I found my new home. Somewhere out on the road, and we singing oh 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 oh, welcome oh 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 oh. Now let me hear you oh 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 oh, welcome home home. No shoes when you up in my house, no run you up in my house. Every hand must wave. No shoes when you up in my house, no run you up in my house. When you reach, you have to stay. Suitcase bag, money stack, conda stack, my saying that a season up your magic. Missing this would be tragic. Family say take a break, but I must cross the stage. I go listen sadly, you know I need this back. The sunrise, and I was in a fit, I with the sun bye bye, and I still in a fit. The only time I inside is when I inside of a fit vehicle. Pack up outside like it's where we live in here. We not going home. No, tell me play the congo. I think I found my new home.
91.3 and 91.5.
Welcome home. We are welcome home. Last carnival was a time to remember. This year is the same energy, but we doing it better. The date on my calendar, highlight from since November. The boss approved my vacation for July since December. I saw the sunrise, and I was in a fit. I wave the sun bye bye, and I still in a fit. The only time I inside is when I inside of a fit vehicle. Pack up outside like it's where we live in.